The room smells like sweat and old mats. Not the clean kind of sweat from a polished studio. The honest kind. Years of bodies hitting the floor, feet sliding, hands slapping wood. The kind of room where egos either get sharpened or broken. Jackie Chan stands near the wall, quiet, hands loosely folded behind his back. He's not the center of attention. Not yet. That's unusual. Tokyo, early 1970s. This isn't a movie set. There are no cameras, no lights, no scripts. This is a private training hall used by serious martial artists. Karate practitioners, judo players, a few boxers who cross-train. The kind of place where reputations are built through sweat, not applause. Jackie is here as a guest. Invited quietly. Observed closely. At this point in his career, Jackie Chan is known but not legendary. He's done films. He's trained relentlessly. But to many in this room, he's still just the acrobat, the stunt guy, the performer, not the technician, certainly not someone to teach them. At the center of the room stands the instructor. Tall, broad-shouldered, calm in the way men get when they've spent years being listened to. He's a respected karate expert, trained traditionally, known for discipline, clean form, powerful strikes. His students hang on his words. His black belt is worn soft with age. He looks at Jackie for a moment, then back to the group. Today, he says, we have a visitor from Hong Kong. Few heads turn. Some nods. Some skepticism. The instructor continues. He works in films. Martial arts choreography. That word lands poorly. Choreography. A couple of students exchange glances. One smirks. Jackie bows politely. Doesn't correct anything. Doesn't step forward. He's learned something over the years. People reveal more when you let them talk. The instructor gestures toward the center of the mat. We were discussing proper execution of basic techniques, he says. Power generation. Stance. Structure. He turns slightly toward Jackie. You may find our approach different from what you're used to. The implication hangs in the air. Jackie smiles faintly. I'm here to learn, he says. That surprises a few people. The instructor nods. Good, he says. Then watch. He calls one of his senior students forward. They square up. The instructor demonstrates a textbook karate combination. Sharp, linear, clean lines, strong hip rotation. The strikes snap and retract with precision. The student absorbs, blocks, resets. The room watches with appreciation. This is real skill. After the demonstration, the instructor looks around. This, he says, is efficiency. No wasted movement. No theatrics. His eyes flick briefly to Jackie. Martial arts is not performance. A few students chuckle quietly. Jackie remains still. The instructor continues teaching. He demonstrates again, this time with more force. The strikes land with audible impact. The student's stance wavers slightly under the pressure. Structure, the instructor says. If your structure is correct, power follows. He turns back toward Jackie. In films, he says calmly, many movements look impressive but fail under real resistance. Jackie nods. That can be true, he says. Another surprise. The instructor expected pushback. He doesn't get it. The instructor folds his arms. You may demonstrate your way later, he says. But first, let us finish the lesson properly. There it is. The line. The separation between teacher and visitor. Jackie bows again. Please, he says, and steps back. The class resumes. Techniques are drilled. Punches, blocks, counters. Everything is crisp. Everything is controlled. Everything is familiar to the people in the room. Jackie watches intently, not judging, observing. He notices the rigidity in the shoulders, the way tension creeps in when speed increases, the slight delay between intention and execution. Tiny things, invisible to most, but important. Eventually, the instructor claps his hands. That's enough, he says. Now. He turns toward Jackie fully for the first time. Our guest. The room straightens. As lock-in, the instructor gestures toward the mat. You said you're here to learn, he says. Before that, perhaps you can show us how you approach combat. Jackie doesn't move immediately. He looks around. At the students. at the walls, at the floor beneath his feet. Then he asks a question. May I ask something first? The instructor nods. Of course. Jackie gestures toward the students. Could one of them attack me? He asks. However they wish? The instructor raises an eyebrow. This is not a challenge, Jackie adds quickly. Only a demonstration. The instructor considers. Then smiles. Very well, he says. But let us be clear. He steps closer. No tricks. No acrobatics. A ripple of amusement moves through the room. Jackie smiles back. Understood. The instructor turns to a senior student. Go, he says. The student steps forward. Confident. Prepared. He bows. Jackie bows back. They take their stances. The student settles into a solid karate guard. Jackie stands differently. Looser. Hands open. Weight relaxed. That alone draws murmurs. The student attacks. Straight punch. Fast. Clean. Jackie moves. Not back. To the side. Barely. The punch passes where Jackie's head was. Jackie doesn't counter. The student attacks again. Combination this time. Jackie steps inside the line of force, redirects the arm with a soft touch, and moves past the student's shoulder. No strike. No throw. Just position. The student spins surprised. Attacks again. Faster now. Jackie keeps moving. Always just out of reach. The room grows quiet. After several exchanges, the student hesitates. He's breathing harder. Jackie isn't. Jackie gently taps the student's chest with 2 fingers. Not hard. Just enough. The student freezes. Jackie steps back. That's enough, he says. The student blinks. Looks to the instructor. The instructor nods. The student bows and steps away, unsettled. The instructor studies Jackie carefully now. That was evasive, he says. Jackie nods. Yes. But you didn't strike, the instructor continues. In real combat, avoidance alone is insufficient. Jackie smiles. May I ask you to demonstrate again? He says. The instructor's smile tightens slightly. Of course, he says. He steps forward. This time he faces Jackie himself. The room changes. This isn't instruction anymore. This is curiosity edging toward pride. The instructor assumes his stance. Solid. Rooted. Jackie stands relaxed across from him. The instructor looks at Jackie. You may attack, he says. Jackie shakes his head. No, he says gently. You go first. The instructor nods and steps forward. He attacks with intent. Not to hurt, but to test. A powerful forward strike. Jackie moves. Closer. Too close. The instructor adjusts mid-motion. Jackie is already inside his balance. Not striking. Not throwing. Just occupying space the instructor didn't think could be taken. The instructor stops. Raises his hand. The room is silent. The instructor exhales slowly. He looks at Jackie differently now. Again, he says. And they reset. This time the instructor attacks faster. More aggressively. Jackie adapts instantly. Angle. Timing. Position. He never breaks posture. Never forces anything. After several exchanges, Jackie gently places a hand on the instructor's shoulder. Just rests it there. The instructor feels it. The implication. The distance he lost. The control he didn't realize he'd surrendered. He steps back. The instructor lowers his hands. The room doesn't breathe. Jackie bows. Thank you, he says. The instructor doesn't respond immediately. He's thinking. Reassessing. Rebuilding something internally. Finally, he speaks. You didn't fight, he says. Jackie nods. I didn't need to. The instructor looks around the room. Then back at Jackie. Tomorrow, he says, you teach. And that's where everything truly begins. The next morning, the room feels different before anyone speaks. The same mats. The same walls. The same smell of sweat and wood. But the air is heavier now. Students arrive early. They line their shoes carefully. They bow more deliberately than usual. Word has spread quietly through the building. Not as gossip, but as curiosity edged with humility. Jackie Chan stands where the instructor stood the day before. Not front and center. Just present. The instructor enters last. He pauses at the doorway, surveys the room, then walks to Jackie and bows. Not deeply, but sincerely. "You may begin," he says. That alone shocks the room. Jackie bows back. "Thank you," he says. Jackie doesn't start with techniques. He doesn't demonstrate strikes. He doesn't correct stances. Instead, he asks everyone to stand. "Relax your shoulders," he says softly. A few students glance at each other, confused. They obey but awkwardly, unsure what he's getting at. "Again," Jackie says. "More." He walks among them, gently tapping shoulders, forearms, hips. "Too much tension," he says. "Here. And here." One student frowns. "But tension creates power," he says. Jackie nods. "Yes," he says. "And it also steals speed." He asks them to punch slowly. Painfully slow. The room fills with awkward movement. "This is not training," someone mutters under their breath. Jackie hears it. He smiles. He stops in front of the same student who attacked him the day before. "Punch me," Jackie says. The student hesitates. Jackie nods encouragement. Slowly, the student extends a punch. Jackie shifts half a step. The punch misses. Jackie doesn't move his hands. "Again," he says. The student tries faster. Jackie steps again. Still no block. Still no strike. After several attempts, the student is breathing hard. Jackie isn't. "What do you feel?" Jackie asks. The student exhales. "I feel like I'm chasing," he admits. Jackie nods. "Yes," he says. "Chasing loses fights." Jackie gathers the group. "Power," he says, "is not how hard you hit. It is how little you need to do." He demonstrates now. Not a flashy move. Just a step. A turn. A placement of the body that removes options from the opponent. The instructor watches closely. He sees it now. The thing he felt yesterday but couldn't name. Jackie isn't avoiding. He's arriving early. Later, Jackie asks the instructor to attack him again. Publicly. In front of everyone. The instructor hesitates only a moment. Then agrees. He attacks with full intent this time. Not restrained. Not polite. Jackie responds differently now. He still doesn't strike. But this time he redirects the instructor's balance and lets him fall. Not hard. Controlled. The instructor lands seated on the mat, unharmed but stunned. Jackie offers a hand. The instructor takes it. The room is completely silent. The instructor laughs quietly as he stands. Not defensively. Not bitterly. Genuinely. "I spent 20 years perfecting form," he says. "And you stepped between it." Jackie bows. "I spent my life trying to remove it," he says. The instructor nods slowly. "That," he says, "is the difference." The rest of the session changes tone entirely. Students ask questions. Real ones. Not about belts or rank or style, but about timing, distance, tension, awareness. Jackie answers patiently. He never claims superiority. He never criticizes karate. He simply reframes it. "Style," he says, "is a tool, not an identity." The instructor listens more than anyone. At the end of the day, the instructor walks Jackie to the door. "I tried to teach you," he says quietly. Jackie smiles. "And you did," he says. "You showed me how people think." The instructor nods. That may be the hardest thing to unlearn. Years later, the instructor still tells the story. Not as humiliation, as a turning point. The day he realized mastery wasn't about being correct, it was about being adaptable. Some of his students leave to train elsewhere. Others stay. But the room never feels the same again. The mats hold different energy. Less rigidity. More listening. Jackie Chan never boasts about that day. He doesn't need to. Because the people who were there felt it. They watched confidence transform into curiosity. Authority turn into humility. They saw a man let another demonstrate first, and respond not with dominance but with clarity. That's why nobody expected Jackie's response. It wasn't force. It wasn't flash. It was restraint, understanding, timing. And in a room full of experts, that quiet lesson echoed longer than any strike ever could.